Question everything. So thanks to B1 and many others, Professor Black Truth really hit it on the head when he said that the civil rights movement wasn't something the United States government wanted. They didn't want the Aboriginal Negroes to have human rights. That's why they took them, demonized us, destroyed our land and destroyed our people and our nation right here as the Aboriginal Negroes of America. That was the whole purpose of colonizing us and taking over the land and having us build them an empire and never giving us reparations. It wasn't about giving us equal rights. Never have been. And you know this. Psychologically, you know this. Just go drive around your communities and then drive around white folks' community and you'll see a major difference. See, they went on a whole major ploy to try to do a Jedi mind trick on you and make it seem like it's your fault that your communities look like this by never ever showing you how they was coming around burning your communities all the way out. A history of burning your communities down. A history of coming and terrorizing your people in their community, in your communities as they destroyed it. Looting as much as they wanted to with no recourse because you didn't have any type of law enforcement or anybody that you can cry to and help you because they'll just turn a blind eye. This is a reality to it. So when you think about the civil rights movement, don't never ever think like the United States wanted you to have it. They don't want you to have rights right now. Right now, they mass incarcerating you, forfeiting the rights that you have and locking you up like crazy over poverty. Maintain poverty. Maintain struggle to survive based off of what has been done here in America to the bloodline of the Aboriginal Negroes. And they know this. This is why they don't want to give you reparations, but they'll give everybody else reparations. This never was about empowering you. This has been about destroying you and constantly destroying you ever since. They've been here. Even the medical facilities tell you that the Aboriginal Negroes are the most sickly in America. But how did you get here? Because when Columbus and them got here, y'all was the most healthiest people in America. Don't you think something changed? No doubt. But see, all these things are systematically attacks against you, from the Tuskegee experiment to many other different things, all the way down to what we now see going on with this new one. You can't even speak on it today, but you have rights to be able to have freedom of speech. And not to mention, what make you think you're supposed to get rights from a government or from a colonizer nation who colonized you? Who told you they supposed to give you rights? Wasn't you born with rights? Wasn't you born under the creator and nature and already had rights? Just the basis of being here? Well, these are some of the things that you're supposed to be on point with. So when you think about these things, even the Emancipation and Proclamation, once again, nobody wanted you to have any type of freedom. Thus, even now, you work most of the time for colonizer bloodlines, making them even more richer and more richer after working for free for 600 years and get nothing for it. And they laugh and smile and dance in your face as they drive to beautiful communities, at the same time hoarding the resources from your communities and allowing your communities to go to the shit side. And that's just the reality to it. You see it on a day-to-day basis. More abandoned buildings, more abandoned jobs, and more abandoned places in your neighborhoods than you see anywhere else in anybody else's neighborhoods in the United States. You think that's not done on purpose? You really think as the victims of slavery, redlining, oppression, mass incarceration, KK lynching, Jim Crow laws, and many other different things that has went on here, that is your fault? You really took that Jedi mind trick to blame yourself? Well, that's just like somebody blaming their abuser, blaming themselves instead of blaming the abuser. That's just the reality to you. You blaming yourself instead of the bully. That's what they got you doing. And guess what? Everybody else that comes to the country does the same thing. Blame you instead of the bully. Go figure. How did that work? And what's the reality to that? And how do it make you feel? Because remember, we're all about feelings today. Because if we're not going to deal with these truths of our own reality as Aboriginal Negroes of America, then nobody else is. If we drop the ball on pushing this true reality of what we're under, then nobody else is going to uplift it. We got to deal with it. And until we acknowledge it and then recognize that doing the same thing over and over again does not change anything, then nothing is going to be done. Nothing is going to change. Thanks to people like Malcolm X and many others, Martin Luther King and many others, that actually gave them lives to be able to point a lot of these things out and steer us in the right direction. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Claude Anderson, who's still here with us, and many others who speak on this, even now today. You got Dan Calloway, Karumi Ayu, and many others. Big up all these brothers and sisters that's fighting for us, because we need justice in order to combat injustice for what we all stand and go under on a day-to-day basis, living in and around our communities, because we are under siege, regardless of if we like it or not. Unless you really believe that you are the criminal, unless you really believe that you are the demonization of what white media and social media have to offer when it comes to talking about you as the downfall of America. Because remember, there's a lot more ugliness going on in and around America that you don't have no hands in as a nation, no power, no say, no control over. But yet still, you are the face of crime, the face of what is seen to be the ugliness and the ugly face of America. But for me, I just don't get it. I just don't understand that. For that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.